Hello students, welcome to A&M Education, College of Creativity and Technology. In this session, we are going to discuss on the topic Accounting Conventions. Accounting Conventions. Accounting conventions are guidelines used to help companies to determine how to record the certain business transactions that have not yet been fully addressed by accounting standards. Various accounting conventions. There are 4 accounting conventions. They are: first one, Convention of Materiality; second one, Convention of Conservatism; third one, Convention of Consistency; fourth, Convention of Full Disclosure. Let us discuss the conventions one by one. First, Convention of Materiality. The Convention of Materiality means that in accounting, a detailed record is made only of those business transactions which are significant or material to the users of accounting information. For example, a new pencil purchased and supplied to office is no doubt an asset for the concern. If an employee of the concern writes with that pencil every day, here the portion of the pencil is used and the value of pencil decreases. This decrease in the value of pencil does not affect the amount of profit or loss of the firm materially. Therefore, it is not considered in the books of accounts. Second convention, Convention of Conservatism. Convention of Conservatism means that in the accounting records and the financial statements of the business, all the prospective losses, risks and uncertainties should be taken note of and provided for, but prospective profits should be ignored. Third concept, Convention of Consistency. The Convention of Consistency signifies that the accounting practices and methods should remain consistent or unchanged from one accounting year to another. For example, method of depreciation adopted should be same year after year. Fourth convention, Convention of Full Disclosure. The Convention of Full Disclosure means that the material facts must be disclosed in the financial statements with the sufficient details. For example, in case of sundry debtors, not only the total amount of sundry debtors should be disclosed, but also the amount of good and secured debtors, the amount of good but unsecured debtors, and the amount of doubtful debts should be mentioned.